Hey everybody, my name is Buzz. They call me Wannabe. We are going to talk today very quickly. We are in the middle of fixing this Steve Brown special. So we're going to talk about some of the things that I did and some of the things that I found. First of all, the neck was too big. It was too fat right here. Didn't work for me. So what I did is I took the C shape. I basically cut the top of it off and made it a lot flatter on the back. I kept the meat on the sides, but cut this down so when you grab it with your hand, it's thinner. I took 180 thousandths, so a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. What I was worried about is that I was going to burn through the caramelization, and I was going to get into some real light maple. And as you can see, that did not happen. Everything stayed true. The colors stayed true. I re-cleared it. Everything looks like factory. So that was one concern I had. I've talked to a few people about it, so I figured that out for you. Yes, you can cut this neck down, and it still looks just like it's a factory original. Next thing I did is I wanted the Floyd a little lower, and I wanted the way the pickups were mounted to the body. So basically I wanted to get the neck at more of an angle. And somebody said that the way they like to do this is to cut the pocket out. I've never been able to do that. I don't have the machining that's quite good enough, I guess. But I kept the pocket just the way it was. And the way I do this is I cut the neck at an angle. Now, I only wanted 30 thousandths off, so I got my digital calipers, made some marks, and you can do this with a flat sanding block, or you can do it on a belt sander and just kind of kick it. What you do not want is you do not want a high spot in the center. Whether you do it on the pocket or you do it on the neck, you have to have the high spots in the corners. If you have it in the center, when you bolt something down, you bolt this one down first, it'll kick it this way. And it's always trying to rock. You don't want that. You want your high spots on the outside and your void is in the middle. So the way I do this is as I'm cutting it down, I take a black magic marker, I mark it, I take a straight edge and scrape it and make sure it's scraping, telling me which sides are high and that the center is just a little bit low. The center is about 5 thousandths of an inch low, so not much. So this now, with 30 thousandths out of it, is going to sit, now this is very aggravated, it's going to sit more like that, which is going to put the Floyd closer to the body, blah, blah, blah. That's what I've done to the neck. Obviously, I painted the headstock and did some other stuff. I'm going to polish that up and probably put it on tonight. That's kind of why I wanted to make this video right now, show you some of the things that I did. Obviously, I put the little skulls on. I put everything back in. I did copper the cavity. I coppered also the exterior sides of the pickup cavities. Be careful if you do the bottoms that the poles of the pickup don't go through and poke the copper or aluminum shielding. I've tried about 4 or 5 different kinds. I've never seen one kind work better than the other. If you've got it, it works. If you don't, it doesn't. Really, it's more about the glue on the backside and making sure that works. One other thing that I just dropped is the back plate. You want to make sure that your screws that are going to go through don't ever touch any of the copper or aluminum or whatever you want to use, because you can actually get noises and grounds from when you touch the screw. So you don't want the screw as part of the ground. So just cut a little bit out to make sure the screw doesn't touch that. That's going to sit in like that. It's going to make sure all that everything's shielded there, and we're good. Other things that I did, I put a brass block in here. I really didn't need to. The block that came with this Floyd was really good. What you have to do is you have to take every one of these pads off to put a new block on. Before you take the pads off, if your guitar is intonated correctly or even close, take a little, like a itty bitty file or something with a point and scratch the very front of every one of these. Because when you take them off and then you screw the new block down and you go to put everything back on, you want a reference point that says that this intonation is going to be where it was before you took it off. If you take all these off and then try to put them back on, you're going to be chasing your intonation forever. And we've talked about Floyd Roses. Once you get them set up right, they're awesome. But the intonation on all these has to be right. So if the guitar is really close before you put that in, make marks, put them right back to where they were, and then make teeny adjustments from there. I painted this thing and it was looking way too good. And originally this was supposed to be kind of a Eddie Van Halen thing. So when I sprayed the second coat of clear on it, I took my hands and I all through the clear, and I took a brush and I took some of the gold and put it over the purple, and took some of the purple and put it over the gold, and kind of screwed it up because it was looking way too perfect and I didn't like that. Hey, spam phone calls. Hey, look at that, spam. Yay! Am I going to answer it? No. That's what I've done. Tonight I'm going to finish this guy up. I also did put this, what do they call this thing? This is a moo-moo. A moo-moo. This is a strap lock I got off of, I think I got it off of eBay. It was like 12, 14 bucks cheaper than a DiMarzio clip lock. This is actually really good. It actually came with more hardware than even the DiMarzios do when you get them. So that was cool. Put the pickups back in and I'm ready to put this thing back together. I'm going to do a video real quick on how this thing works when it's all back together, but thought I'd let you know what I'm doing, and I'm in the middle of it. So, stay tuned. I'll show you some finished pictures and how it looks and how it plays when it's all done. And hopefully the Floyd's going to be a little better, neck's going to be a little better, and it'll play a little better. Hey, thanks for watching. See ya.